Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in today. You are currently watching the Tuesday Feels Drawing Group hosted on Tuesday, August 2nd at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And I'll be your host for today since Lauren is out. She's currently in the sky traveling, flying around. If this is working for you, please let us know in the comments or the chats. And welcome to Guy Aitchison's Reinventing the Tattoo Community, where tattooers, apprentices, and collectors, and the curious are all encouraged to join in these live streams, real-world events, to share and inspire and ultimately create better art and tattoos together. We beam out nearly every day, and with your help have evolved into a quality network of amazing live and on-demand tattoo and art shows that have all been receiving rave reviews. You can find us on both the app stores, Apple App Store and Google Play Store, as well as YouTube and Facebook. You can watch all of the replays on the Roku channel, reinventingthetattoo.com/Roku, or you can listen to the podcast on Apple and Spotify and all of the usual places. Artists, feel free to zoom in by clicking on the link in the calendar area. And as always, you can get the latest event schedule and notifications so that you don't miss your favorite shows, as well as a link out to Reinventing 24/7, which is a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week basic replay channel of a couple of select shows that is available at all times. So you can always find all of that and all of the latest news and information at www.reinventingthetattoo.com. We have a number of weekly staple shows that we always encourage people to tune into, starting on Sundays at 1 p.m. with the Skill Building Sunday Drawing Group with Jason Leeser. That's followed on Mondays at 9 a.m. with Drawing for Tattooers with James Wisdom. That's followed at 11 a.m. on Mondays with the Tattoo Weekly, hosted by Lauren Gregory, Jake Meeks, and Gabe Ripley. Then you have 5 p.m. on Mondays, Let's Talk About Feelings with Robbie Ripple. And then we have Mondays at 9 p.m. We have a subscriber exclusive drawing group with Guy Aitchison himself, where we cover varying parts of the canon to go through and do a deeper dive into that. Tuesdays at 10 a.m., we have the Tuesday Feels Drawing Group with Ricardo Sturdivant. And Wednesdays at 1 p.m., we have the Tattoo Now show, where we go through and look at some of the more business aspects behind tattooing. Thursdays at 6 p.m., we have Tattoo Collecting 101 podcast with Fawn Baker. So please, by all means, remember to tune in to all of the other great shows that we have going on this week. Would like to go through and take a second to thank some of our sponsors and some of the people that make this happen. Starting off with Raw Pigments, an ink company that's tapping into the source, rawpigments.co. These are powder-based, acrylic-free, vegan-friendly, absolutely awesome tattoo pigments. These things will saturate like there's no tomorrow. They're black and grays, heal up super smooth. Their blacks are nice and dark. Their white is nice and bright. I use a very large number of raw pigments in my own personal lineup. Go ahead, give them a look, rawpigments.co. Would also like to thank worldtattooevents.com, the largest, most comprehensive resource for tattoo events worldwide. They're constantly updating as conventions and events are still getting rescheduled like crazy in this post-pandemic world. So for the latest information on whatever tattoo events you're looking to work at, please take a look at worldtattooevents.com. Delize Pro, also known as Dermalized in the rest of the world. Protect your art. If you're still using plastic wrap to wrap your tattoos, it's probably time to step your game up. Delize Pro. TattooNow.com, technology for tattooers, the leading edge in SEO and professional development for tattooers of all levels, and they are now accepting new clients. This is exactly the way that you want to go to pick up some new professional development videos or to really start attracting some of the clients that you really want to tattoo. As always, this would not be Reinventing the Tattoo With that, a very personal and professional thank you from the bottom of my heart to Guy Aitchison at guyaitchison.com. He is the founder and inspiration behind Reinventing the Tattoo. Go to guyaitchison.com where you can pick up a copy of his Biomech Encyclopedia, some of his DVDs. He's got some custom coil machines for sale, original oil paintings, countless fine art prints, and a whole lot more, all available at guyaitchison.com. And as always, would like to say a very quick shout out to two of our affiliates, the Apprenticeship Diaries with Amy Nichols and the Fireside Tattoo Network hosted by Jake Meeks, both of which are amazing resources for tattoo knowledge. Go take a look. Whew, it's a lot in a very short period of time that I just said. Anyway, we always ask that you please post positive reviews on the channel. Please help us get the word out. Tell some of your friends and colleagues. Tell other people that you may know that may be interested in learning more about tattoos. If you would like to host a Reinventing the Tattoo event, or maybe you want to sponsor the community, become one of our paid sponsors, or maybe you're looking for a fine art critique, you can always email management at reinventingthetattoo.com. And welcome to the show. And I'm going to go through, where is, no, stop, no, sorry, technical things. There we are.
I like muted myself and turned my video back off. I was just like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got prompted to touch buttons and it freaked me out there for a second.
It's like, no, stop.
Yeah, Skynet was taking over real quick.
It sure was. It's been doing that lately.
So we've got Reggie commenting in Facebook already. He's a tattoo artist here from the Philippines. Welcome. We've got Amber Morgan is with us this morning on YouTube. MCR is here. James Wisdom is following along in the YouTube, which is awesome. Creatures Cave is here. Hello.
Hello. How's everybody doing today?
Hello.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys like being serenaded by someone who cannot sing.
Oh, it sounds like
me.
me.
I thought a cat was dying.
Oh, damn. That's harsh, bro.
I'm actually, that is much better than what I was expecting. I've been compared to a banshee's death growl.
Banshee's wail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how are you guys doing today? You guys have a big day planned? Any tattoos coming up?
No, it's my day off. Yeah. I was gonna go to the beach actually.
Hey, all right, that's awesome.
I have a 8-hour appointment booked up. So I am going to be busy all day long.
What's going on?
Yeah,
what are you tattooing?
So I'm working on this floral half sleeve that I started a couple weeks ago. I didn't post any videos of it, obviously, because it's not finished. But hopefully we should be able to get to finish it today. Let me pull up the great pad of eye. Yeah, I always like to nickname my electronic devices. Let's see, where's my appointments folder?
What a creative name for your iPad, the Pad of Eye.
The Great Pad of Eye.
I named my tattoo machine.
Did you?
Yeah, my Numa.
What'd you name it?
What's its name?
Boris.
Boris?
Boris. Yeah, his name's Boris. I love Boris.
Is it because you like to watch it run all day?
Named after Boris Johnson from the UK?
Boris. I thought you said Forest. That makes it even lamer. His
No,
name is Boris. Okay, got you.
uh,
Gotcha.
Boris. I don't know. I thought it was a good name. A good name for it's a Numa 4 is my main machine. So it's the only one I've named too.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
on.
So this is don't know how well you guys can see it. Maybe I'll turn the background.
Uh,
I
are
don't know
you
if that's any
framing?
better.
You're framing that?
No, this is the half sleeve I'm working on later today. So I'm working around an existing tattoo. Gonna pull some other additional like leaves and greenery in here. But she just said, I don't know, make it pretty. So that's what I tried to do.
Who did the face there?
Not me. That was done by
Okay.
someone else about 20 years ago.
Okay.
So I mean, it's held up pretty well for 20 years. Can still
you
see
zoom
some
in
of the
on it?
red in it.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah, it's not too bad for 20 years old, man. It's definitely solid.
Yeah.
The proportions might be a little off, I think.
Proportions are a little off, and that's what I'm going to talk to her about today, is going through and tweaking some of the things out, adjusting the nose a bit, giving that a little bit more of an arch,
Mhm.
adjusting the cheekbones a little bit more, giving that a little bit more value in the cheeks, trying to go through and kind of tweak it out so that it looks a little bit more proportional.
Yeah.
But it's also a photo taken at an angle, so that may be distorting some of it. But it was kind of an awkward spot. So
Question about working around
Answer.
other people's old tattoos. So obviously when you're working around a tattoo that has aged or is a number of years old, a decade or more, the old tattoo is significantly more faded and somewhat diluted compared to the new tattoo. I'm working on a back piece, putting a background behind a very old tattoo. And it's a very fun piece, but the background now pops so much because it's fresh, it's brand new. The blacks are very black. The other piece is so faded and there's like no black in it anymore. It's all just very light gray. Is it
Yeah.
appropriate to ask to touch up the tattoo?
Yeah. I mean, it's
I would
one of those.
make the recommendation.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, it's that's the finicky part about this industry, right? Like, and about the whole existing tattoo and then you're working around it thing, is that it's ultimately, it's after it's been paid for and after it's been tattooed, it's the client's tattoo no matter what. You know what I mean? Like, the only thing that is yours at the beginning is the drawing, I think. You know what I mean? And then once they pay for the tattoo, it's no longer, that's it. I mean, it's not even your drawing anymore, it's theirs, I mean, I guess you can keep the drawing, but you transferred over the image, and that's what they're paying for, is that service, right? So like, but I think it's important to ask the client if they want you to kind of freshen it up, for sure. I mean, especially since it's going to make everything a little bit more cohesive looking. What do you think, Jason? Is he here?
Oh, I'm here.
Does that
I was just finishing up breakfast.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry.
And I'm trying not to, I
You
don't
can
think
eat
people
in
really
front of
want to watch
us.
me chewing.
Yeah.
So
Somebody
I mean,
out there is
I
gonna
always
get really excited.
so
pretty good.
I'm a huge advocate of always asking for permission, because you never know like what the story is behind that tattoo.
Right.
Oh yeah, I'm
you
huge on
don't
consent
know if
before I
that,
do anything.
maybe that tattoo was inked using, a paper clip and a guitar string and a Bic pen and an RCA cassette motor,
Hell yeah.
that their homie made in, prison, and it's got like the most deep meaning and they don't want anything to touch it. And it's like, okay, So you don't really know the story behind the existing tattoo. So always ask permission before you touch anything that's existing.
It should be
You
one of
never
the
know, because
questions
they
that you
also
ask.
might have plans to go back to the original artist
Yeah,
to have
true.
them rework.
Yeah.
True.
So I I had asked her if she was planning on going back to the original artist for touch-ups, and she can't even remember who the original artist was. It's just an illustration she liked when she was like a teenager, and she got it at the first shop she could find. Um, but I did tell her that it would look good if that was touched up, and she can reach out because the background will be so bold now compared to the old foreground. I did tell her it would look better if that would be touched up, but I wasn't really sure if it's appropriate for me to ask if I can touch it up, or because, like, you know, I'm
I
already
don't know.
working on the other thing.
I mean, at that point in time, you might as well. Everything's already out. And then this way, you know, everything's going to age at exactly the same rate. And that's something that always concerns me, because different pigments do age at different rates.
Yep.
Some are more light fast, some blacks are darker than others. But it doesn't really, you know, at the end of the day, anything that's put in the same rough time frame, you know, over the same few months or the same year or whatever, that's generally going to age at the same rate. Whereas if you get a piece done and then you go back 10 years later, that piece that you did 10 years ago, that is not going to be anywhere near as dark or anywhere near as, you know, saturated. It's not going to have the same vibrance because you have 10 years worth of skin that's grown over top of it. Right.
Yeah.
So you want things to age at the same rate so that way everything stays consistent as far as the look going forward.
Yep. I agree with you completely. I mean, a lot of the times, what was it? Kurosumi, you know?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, a lot of those old tattoos are Kurosumi inks and stuff like that, and they have a different kind of like hue to them, as far as like some of the newer
The bluish
line inks and stuff like that.
bluish
Yeah,
blacks.
it's like a bluish kind of ink. Yeah, right, exactly. Kurosumi, man, I used to love that stuff, dude. I loved it. It was so like perfect to line with at the time. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, I used to know a guy that used to take Kurosumi liner black, like the real thick stuff. And he used to cut it down in such a way, and he could do the softest, smoothest, most silvery black and gray shading you have ever seen.
Yep. Yeah, this stuff was pretty awesome. For black and gray washes, it was fun. But let's see. Today I had an appointment today, but her appointment got well, we had to reschedule her appointment due to work and stuff like that. So I found myself with a little spare time yesterday at the shop. I guess I didn't realize it, but Mondays were technically closed at the shop that I'm at now. And because there's usually people around all over the place, but it was just me and my client yesterday. And so we did this Sonic the Hedgehog tattoo on him, and that was fun. And we're starting like around an existing Jar Jar Binks tattoo. You know what I mean? So that was pretty cool too.
I saw that on your Instagram, and I was going to comment this morning. I was gonna be like, "Is that a Jar Jar Binks? Show me the Jar Jar Binks. DM me Jar Jar."
It is. It is.
Lisa
think it was Jar Jar.
Like, no, stop that. You stop that. That's not even funny.
It's hilarious, Jason.
It is hilarious. I'll go back and watch that movie.
Jar Jar, I swear, is Emperor Palpatine in disguise.
There's that whole conversation.
All the better that he's secretly a Sith Lord. That Jar Jar.
It makes sense.
Why? Let's not. Well, look, you know, are we going to talk about this for real? Because we should get into it. We are.
Let's bring this up later. Let's stay on topic. Let's stay on topic. but I am 100% thoroughly convinced Jar Jar is a Sith Lord.
We have to talk about it now.
Jason's
No, we're trying to stay on topic. Creatures Cave just made a comment in the YouTube. Does anyone have issues putting orange in the skin when tattooing?
Yes. I hate orange. I hate orange so much. Orange and brown.
Never had an issue.
You know what I think it is? I think it's it depends on what ink you're using for sure, first and foremost. But I think the way that the blood starts to come to the surface and the way it's like it kind of mixes in with the tone or the hue of the color. I think that's what confuses people and makes it kind of difficult sometimes. I think for me, if you rely on your pattern as far as your saturation goes and the application of the tattoo, then you should be pretty good to go. That's what I've noticed anyway. But it can be difficult, until you start relying on that.
If you do find yourself having issues putting in any color, I always find just a little trick that I've picked up is I go through and I'll do a small area and then I'll jump around to another area and let that calm down to take a look and just make sure that everything's going in nice and solid. Then I'll do a little bit more and then I'll jump to another area, in a different color, and I'll let that calm down and I'll just like chip away at it. This way I can see as the skin is calming down, I can get a better look to make sure that it's nice and solid as I go through.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes complete sense. Okay. 2 questions, Melissa.
Oh no.
The first one is, can we see that Jar Jar muscly Binks again?
Sexy Jar Jar.
I'm a little jealous.
This is my favorite photo on the internet. And every few months or so, I randomly send it out in like mass text messages to a bunch of people without saying anything. And so it's funny that Jar Jar was brought up today because there's a thing.
Oh my God. That's hilarious.
It's my favorite photo on the internet. I love
Thank goodness for Photoshop.
Yeah, that's not Photoshop.
That's what
This is a shot from a documentary on Jar Jar.
That was after his viewing in the movie. He's like, oh no, I gotta get into shape.
Actually, I think he gained weight for the movie. This was his actual like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, this was his fuck, what do you call it? Photo, portfolio shot.
Oh, his headshot, his still shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then 2 is, first of all, thank you for sharing that. That was hilarious. I've never seen that before in my life. And then the other one is, so what do you think about the application of orange? Because it looks like Amber Morgan just said she has issues with orange straight from the bottle, but when I mix an orange, it goes in the skin better. I'm assuming that she means that she mixes it with other inks or something like that.
I'm assuming that she means like mixing red and yellow.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, that makes sense.
I personally, I would say that I think that Jason's application idea is brilliant. And I feel like, well, I've only have a few bottles of orange ink. I'm like everybody knows by now, I'm a fairly new tattooer, so I don't have a whole lot of experience. I just didn't like the consistency of the oranges I have had. And I feel like more often than not, they're almost translucent.
Yeah.
And so on a couple of months ago, on one of the Monday night exercises with Guy, he had mentioned that he just doesn't even buy orange pigments anymore, that he mixes magenta with yellow to make all of his oranges. So I started doing that. And I would agree that I think that's a little bit better.
So there's actually a reason behind why he doesn't use orange straight from the bottle, or why he didn't. And that's because he noticed over the years that with a very specific, very popular brand of pigment, that the orange, specifically the orange or anything that had orange base to it, was not light fast and would fade far faster than every other color that he would put in. So he noticed it wasn't light fast. And when you're dealing with colors that are not light fast, they're going to fade very, very, very quickly. So his way around that was to go through and start mixing his own, so that that way he knew that that color would be there in the long run. And it's something that a lot of other artists have noticed. It's something a lot of other artists have seen dealing with the same brand. Look at Jesse Smith, for example, from Loose Screw Tattoo in Richmond. He tattoos using 5 colors, black and white, and that's it. All of his tattoos are done using 5 colors, black and white. And he mixes back and forth with every single color to get every other color he needs. The reason behind that is because he also found the same thing. A lot of the colors that he was using from the same brand that Guy was, were not light fast. They would not stand the test of time. They would not hold up very well. And because of that, he wanted his tattoos, once again, to stand the test of time, so that those colors could be nice and vibrant, 15, 20, 30 years down the road. In order to do that, he figured out what some of the base colors were for that brand, and then went through, did his own light fastness tests, and figured out which colors would hold up the best over time. And now that's all he uses. With some of our more modern technology coming from Raw Pigments, not just because they're a sponsor of the show, but I've done some tests myself. All of their pigments are light fast. So if you get an orange from them, as opposed to the other mainstream brands, you know for a fact that that is going to be maximum light fast. You know it's going to go in great, and you know it's not going to fade out at any faster rate than any other brand.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait to try Raw.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Which artist were you mentioning did the light fast
Jesse
test?
Smith.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. I thought you were saying something else, and then in my head I was all like, I think Jesse Smith did something really similar. I remember him talking about it at his seminar at Paradise BYOB.
Yep, that is exactly who I was talking about.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That was a
Yeah, I
fun
love that.
seminar.
That was, I don't think I got to catch that one. I think I was working some stuff at that convention, or at that gathering.
I think that was one of the last seminars.
Oh yeah, maybe
And I
that's what it
think
was.
people were taking off by then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think
Yeah,
a few people missed it. And then I think
the ride scenario is kind of tricky out there, but that's okay though.
yeah. Yeah, I ended up splitting a cab with Kyle on the way back to the airport. So that was cool. I got to know him.
Yeah. He's a cool kid.
He is very cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was also when I learned that traveling for stuff, you should always, if you can, try as hard as you can to add an extra day before and an extra day after to settle in and get ready and get rested and to decompress before flights. Because, oh my gosh, is it terrible to catch a flight at like 4 a.m. to go across the country only to not have your room ready yet, and then wait in the lobby for 6 hours, sleep deprived, trying
Yeah.
to make sure that you can unpack in time to get your seminar that's in like 2 hours.
You know, it's funny that you said that, because I remember when I was checking in, I had also done the same thing. I flew, well, you came from literally across the country. I came from Illinois, but I left Chicago that morning, I think at like 5 a.m. or something like that. And I ended up landing, I think sometime around, I can't remember, noon or 11 or something like that. But somehow my room was ready. I don't know. But I think I remember seeing people in the lobby, like sleeping on the couches and stuff. And I think that was you and your travel
Kyle.
companion and stuff. Yeah.
It
Was
was
it Kyle,
actually,
really?
it was me and Kyle, because I remember
Oh,
looking at Kyle and being like, that looks like an alternative lifestyle kind of guy. I wonder if he's here for the convention thing. And yeah, we were both there for hours. We didn't speak the whole time because both of us were super tired waiting for our rooms. So it was
yeah.
hilarious that we ended up sharing a cab ride leaving, because we both spent 4 hours sitting right next to each other, like sleeping in the lobby. But yeah, that was me and Kyle.
That's awesome, man. So let me ask you guys a question that I've been thinking about. Creativity, right? Where do you guys draw your sources of inspiration from? You guys have like references that you use? You guys kind of like listen to the client? Like when it comes down to the overall drawing for the tattoo, are you relying heavily on the subject matter that they provide and the way they provide it, or are you trying to talk with them about implementing the style that you lean towards for the tattoo?
I've
So
been
me
working.
personally, oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I've been working on learning how to talk to the client about adding things on to the tattoo or implementing things that I think would be a good idea without losing track of what their vision is. It's a
Mhm.
rough little tango to play before it love give and take with ideas. Jason?
So I always like to ask my clients one very, very specific, very simple question. Whenever they, come in and they're like, hey, I want this. And it's like, okay, you're showing me a picture. Do you want something this style, or do you want something this subject matter?
Right.
Say it's a statue of Saint Michael or a tattoo of Saint Michael, right? Do you want this image, or do you want this style of work? Right? Because if they say, I want this image, then it's the subject matter that they're really looking at. But if they say, well, I really like the way that this was done, it's like, okay, so now I've got more flexibility with subject matter. Say we're talking about, once again, Saint Michael, only because I've got one of those coming up sometime in the next week or two. I actually went through and found some alternate images that I thought would fit the area better, that I thought were different, that I haven't really seen before. So I went through and found my own kind of reference ideas, my own images, and said, we can still make it look, as the style in this image that you sent me. But what if we went with this kind of a design instead?
Yeah.
And then that opens up the door for more creative freedom. If someone says, I want exactly this, ask them why they're married to it. Ask them what they like about it. Why do they want that specific image? What is it the way that it's done? Is it the subject matter? Is it a combination of the two? Do they like the placement? Do they like all the stuff around it? Do they like, what about it is really drawing them to that image? From there, you can sit back and say, okay, now why are you trying to get it? Oh, well, I want it, I wanted to get this tattoo because, someone passed away and they're now my protector. And it's like, okay, well, if we're going based off of that kind of motivation, why don't we go with maybe a different image? Maybe instead of Saint Michael, maybe go with a different saint, or maybe, come up with something else like a guardian angel, standing in front of the gates instead of Saint Michael slaying the demon. It's like there's a lot of different ways that you can play off of someone's background motivation for that tattoo. So I like to ask questions, a lot of questions. The more questions I can ask, the better, depending on their time frame and my time frame and what's going on. But that's one thing that I always try to stress as far as like inspiration. If someone says, hey, I want to get a tattoo of a dove. Okay, cool. I can draw a super sick dove for you. Not a problem. Depending on whatever, why they're getting it or whatever's going on. If they come in without any kind of like a set idea in their mind as far as what they want it to look like, I now have creative license for that tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's better to show them drafts to show them what direction you're heading in with it. That way there's no confusion about it. If that makes any sense. So sometimes I do enjoy doing that just because I do like to get feedback and it doesn't catch anyone off guard and they're not like, well, that's not really what I was thinking. I was thinking something more like this, and it's like, okay, that would have been good to know in the beginning. Let's reschedule you and, I'll do some more drawing on it. That's fine.
Consultations are so important. Having a
They
thorough
are.
consultation. I have only had to do it once before where we had a consultation. I drew up a design. It was not at all what they liked. We had to reschedule and have a new consultation just so that we could get right back on the same page. But oh my God, it is a journey as a new tattooist, learning how to do a proper consultation so that you don't mess everything up and get on the same page with them and understand what their vision is.
Definitely. Yeah, it's important to kind of press things out.
As far as inspiration for like my own artwork that I like to do, like I was talking to you the other day about, a whole bunch of different individual flash designs I'm getting together for the next show I work at. As far as that kind of stuff, honestly, Pinterest, I'll go through there and I'll be like, oh, that's a cool concept. Never thought of putting, like a wolf with green eyes in front of a silhouetted forest before, cool idea. Let me see what I can come up with. Maybe instead of a silhouetted forest, maybe it's like an apocalyptic city with like buildings that are halfway crumbling, or maybe it's a wolf in front of a burning castle, something like that. Maybe it's got like blood on its mouth and jowl instead of, color in the eyes. And that's the only color you see in it. So I'll take that and I'll run with those kinds of ideas and come up with my own version. And then from there, it usually ends up leading down the rabbit hole where I'm like, ooh, but we could do this instead. Ooh, yeah, let's do that. Next thing you know, it's a totally different idea than what I had originally started out sketching up.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Big same on browsing Pinterest for ideas. I like to look up random flash sheets and see what kind of concepts other people have and basically do the same thing. Just be like, a wolf in front of that forest, pretty cool. What if it was like a wolf in front of an abandoned building that's been taken over by monstrous leaves and like some post-apocalyptic setting, like the wolves are running the streets now. So yeah, big same on that. I've also been finding a lot of inspiration throughout my life from music. I really like to listen to music that has a lot of analogies in it and then trying to draw that stuff up.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. I like that too. I do that quite a bit. Like you kind of tell a story or try to explain what it is that they're speaking about, like and because a lot of lyrics, they're very poetic, you know what I mean? So there's a meaning behind it, but you have to kind of like listen to the words in order to interpret it and everything like that. And yeah, I do the same thing. I love that's been always like a foundation for me too, as music, for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's like about 80% of my paintings are named after song lyrics because of what inspired them.
Yep.
So,
It
and
was the same thing with the inks when I named a few of the raw pigment inks too. I was like, yep, songs.
yeah, except you named waiting room wrong.
No, that's perfect. It's a perfect color for waiting room. But
No, it's true. You did a great job.
I should have named it Red Cardo, is what you're saying.
Well, no, I was thinking, well, because the Fugazi album with waiting room on it is red colored.
Yeah. Well, I think that they already had a name for the red. I think there was I can't remember the name of it. Anyways, I think that
not
is
Red
from the song
Cardo.
too.
It's not right.
Yeah, I know, right? Tell me about it. If it ain't Red Cardo, we don't want it. No, you know what? That's definitely been a foundation for me too. Lately, it's been my life's experiences for sure. You know what I mean? Like trying to interpret those feelings and put them into drawings and stuff like that. Like as far as choosing the subject matter that relates to whatever emotion it is that I'm trying to like decipher through. You know what I mean? That's been pretty helpful lately. I think we talked about that a couple episodes back. As far as implementing art into a sense of like therapy and stuff like that, in the sense of understanding what's going on with ourselves and stuff like that, and yourself and what the situation might be. Because I know that there's some times, man, things seem so overwhelming. You know what I mean? It's like, just get me out of my own head, dude. Just get me out of my own head. So I've been finding myself also lately wearing my headphones like in my earbuds like all the time, even if I don't have music on. Like I'll be listening to music but then if I go out into the store or something like that, I'm still like, even if there's no music on, I'm still wearing them. I'm like, it's fine, whatever. Actually feels kind of good right now.
I like wearing headphones when I'm not listening to anything because it gets people to leave me alone.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, hey, oh, never, sorry. Headphones.
Yeah. You just kind of go, I can't hear you. Do they get to leave you alone? Like a tree.
make like a tree and leaf.
Yeah. Let's make like a tree and get out of here. Let's make like a tree and leave. I love that movie, Back to the Future, man. But yeah, no, that's been really good for me too. And then even today, there was yesterday, like I said, there was some time that I had. I was like, okay, what am I going to do with the rest of my day today? I don't know. So, my laundry's all done, all that stuff. My food's all ready to go and everything like that. But like, so I sat down and I drew this little ornamental flower design, you know what I mean? And I was like, even that, you know what I mean, is to a certain point. Like I would normally wouldn't draw anything like that, but the time felt right to kind of put something down like that. And it was definitely drawing on some moments and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. And then I put it up on Instagram. I put it up in my stories, and I had a lot of people get a hold of me that are wanting that type of tattoo. And I have somebody coming in today on a reschedule where normally I would have had an open day. So it's been pretty helpful in a few different ways. So if you guys do that, it's a good resource to draw from sometimes.
Yeah, I saw that post on your stories, and I swear to somebody's God, you guys are making me want to move to the East Coast so bad.
Yeah.
Like every time y'all post a tattoo, I'm like, I want to get tattooed. I just don't want to fly across the country. I just drive over there?
Yeah. Yeah, there was a person that I met at the artist retreat in New Hampshire when we went out there. That had gotten a hold of me and was like, man, maybe I should just fly out there tomorrow. I was like, do it. That would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, when I saw that post, I was just like, I wonder, like, I can't go tomorrow, obviously, but like, I wonder if I should fly out there and get tattooed.
Mm-hmm.
I think I probably
to
should.
Illinois. to get tattooed by Ricardo, highly recommend it.
Oh, dude, come on now.
I think
Thank you.
after I finish the project that I'm working on my arm, I'm gonna take a break from tattooing or getting tattooed and start taking my collection more seriously. That one conversation we had with Fawn has heavily inspired me about tattoo collecting and everything. And you know what? There are some dream tattoos that I really need to like work on getting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
One of my dream tattoos is I want an original like 90s flash piece from Guy.
Mhm.
Like I want one of his flash pieces from the 90s on my throat.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You'd love it.
Just like a little homage to homage.
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 There's so many different
Yeah.
tomato.
To, yeah, like something to the
You
history
have to
of
say it like Arnie would.
Homage.
Homage.
yeah, an homage to the history of modern tattooing right on my throat.
Right.
Uh,
Right. That'd be pretty killer, actually. It'd be, first of all, go into the studio, you'll just be like, yes. I remember the first time Jason and I went, we were like, yeah, we were all dancing and stuff. It was hilarious, like kids in a candy store.
oh my
Dude,
goodness.
it smiles from ear to ear because
But the funniest
it's like
part,
making a trip, man. I mean, it's enlightening
a journey.
to go through that kind of an experience.
I mean, that's how I feel just joining these Zoom calls with you guys.
Yeah. Mhm. One of the other things that I've been doing too lately is I've been running. I've actually started running, which is insane to me. And it clears out a lot of space for a lot of things that are going on at the moment. And I'm able to kind of like float into these concepts and bits of conversation that I've had. And sometimes that'll help inspire some drawings and stuff like that too. So it's like good to just like, I guess you don't have to run or anything like that, but maybe just go for a walk or like, get up and move around a little bit. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's so frustrating when you're sitting down in front of the paper and you're like, oh, it's just not working, dude. It's just not working. So a good thing for me
Is
has been
that
to just get up
new
and move
trend
around.
called? Is that
Yogging.
new trend called yogging?
Apparently you just run
Yogging.
for
I think it's
Yogging?
got a soft J.
Soft J,
Apparently,
yeah.
you just run for an extended period of time.
That's it. That's all you do.
My new dog is fairly active and needs to exercise quite a bit more than my elderly Chihuahua did. So and my apartment is right across the street from a public track and soccer field and park. So we've been going there at night and walking laps around the track so that he can just, run around and hang out while nobody's around, and I get to decompress after work. And I brainstorm so many ideas for drawing when I'm out there. The only problem is that I'm not actually with my pen and paper, and then by the time I get back to my apartment, I'm just like, wait, what was that thing that I came up with?
You should do you have an iPhone or an Android or something?
Yeah, I got a phone.
Okay, you have fun. Well, the best thing to do, like for me, I was just saying, like in notes, you know what I mean? I keep notes on my my homepage, and I always like use it like, some people just have a little tape recorder and they'll record ideas or something like that. And like notes is my tape recorder, you know what I mean? My manual tape recorder. So it's not a tape recorder at all, but it's like a tape recorder.
But you write down on it.
But you write down on it instead.
Like,
you actually just punch a bunch of buttons and stuff.
Like,
Yeah.
I think somebody else compared it to a notepad.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Maybe that's
exactly.
where they got the name notes from.
I don't know, dude. It's so electronic these days. Who knows, man? I don't know.
Yeah. No, I do have like my notes, and I even have like a little section in my notes on my phone for drawing ideas. I don't remember to do it. I'm wrapped up in the idea, and especially if I'm out at night walking my dog, I'm also just distracted by the dog, and then it's all gone.
You know what though? It's good though. Like that's one of the other things that help you work is sometimes, you know, your mind's so fixated on some things that those distractions kind of help clear it out a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a negative distraction either. It's like, you know, you're walking around with your dog, you're spending time with, you're bonding with your buddy. You know what I mean? So,
My good
but
boy.
those, yeah.
My rat.
What's the dog's name?
His name is Bazooka Jones.
Bazooka Jones.
Yeah.
Nice.
Come here. Come say hi.
Yeah, no, that helps me out quite a bit. No paper plates either, right? On your walks.
Paper plates.
Yeah, a while back you had
Yeah,
said you're right.
no, yeah, my notes on paper plates. I forgot about that. You
Yeah.
know, it was so funny because I had carried that paper plate around in my bag with me for like a week and a half, ready for the night of our first class. And
Yeah.
then when it came down to talking about our goals, I couldn't find the plate.
It was like, you know, I partook and I started eating some pizza and little did I know that there was some notes underneath all that greasy mess and I just threw it away. Sometimes it happens. Mhm.
But I didn't lose that paper plate for like a week and a half.
Hey, like good for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
Take it easy, Creature's Cave.
Creatures Cave
He's
just,
taking off.
yeah,
Yep.
no, go ahead.
No, thank you for hosting, man. I appreciate that so much. Yeah, Creature's Cave just said goodbye. He's got to go. You guys have a good week. You too, man. You too. Whoa, did you guys see that? That's lightning here. It's so dark outside today.
Ricardo, you're talking to two people that are in completely different states.
Well, I was just
did
asking if
you
you saw the
see that
flash.
lightning?
I was just asking if you saw the flash on me. That's all.
It's like when you drop the
Wait.
phone during a phone call and you're like, oh my God, are you okay?
Yeah. Did I hurt you?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's hilarious, dude. No.
No, I didn't see any flash. I actually thought that the light on you is the natural outside light.
It is.
Okay.
It is. Yeah.
It doesn't
It's
seem
so,
like it's that dark. It looks bright.
thank you. Yeah, I'm
I
like
thought it
sitting
was
right
his
in front of
bright and
the
shining
window.
personality.
Radiant and glowing.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my gosh. You're really killing me. Yeah, man. That's about it. I'm pretty excited to get on that tattoo. It's on a really nice person. I'm happy that this lady got a hold of me and I'm gonna be tattooing her and her daughter today, I think. So that'll be pretty fun.
Oh, that is super cool.
Mhm.
I love it when you get like father son or mother daughters like duos coming in.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention both of you. I had talked to both of you about the project that I'm working on for the Taino woman.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to say thank you both for the advice. I'm going to, I am turning up the contrast on it right now so I can see on screen, and I want to show you guys what the final image is. Also, I contacted that other person, Jason, you told me to contact, and he said it looks amazing. So
Awesome.
it was
Coming
very,
from that person that I told Medusa to contact is Yalzi.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I was like, listen, I can't really comment too much on this because that's not, part of my culture. That's not,
yeah.
I can't really comment too much on it. And I said, but I know someone who can. I know someone who is very involved with that culture, that's very involved with getting back to their roots, understanding what the culture is about and what it's like. Said, reach out to them. They can give you some input. It doesn't help that he's also a judge for a lot of tattoo contests at a lot of conventions
It's
and
not a
has
bad thing.
such an extensive knowledge of tattooing that it's mind blowing.
Yeah, I am really excited because to get his approval on the design, and to have him say like, that looks amazing, is super fucking awesome. And now I feel like I can really give this woman a tattoo that she will love to wear for the rest of her life, and hopefully it will help or not help, but hopefully it will do justice for her. But
Check it out.
hold on, I turned down the background. Let me try a little bit more to do this, because what we have to make the background like 50% for it to show up.
I have no idea. That's a Jason question for sure.
Yeah, that's usually helpful.
Okay,
Yeah, there you go.
Let's check that out.
so I've got palm trees and mountains in the background and the waves. And then I included the parrot, the Puerto Rican parrot. And then the lady in the center. Oh yeah, and those are the Flor de Maga, the national flower at the bottom. And the lady in the center is my interpretation of the holy entity, Adabe, who is not a goddess, but the embodiment of water and nature. And she controls the rivers and the lakes and life and everything that needs water, as well as fertilization. And
Yeah, it looks great.
the very main person in their culture. So I'm excited about it. I'm actually super invested in this project. I'm so pumped on it. So, how about, thank
Hell
you.
yeah.
It looks great. Turned out cool.
Thank you. And thank you guys for both of your inputs on it throughout the design process. I am really grateful that I have the opportunity to be able to reach out to other talented tattoo artists for critiques and advice. I mean, the only way for any of us to get better is to support each other, right?
Yep. Not only that, but put yourself out there too, and be able to be open to the constructive criticism.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, if we're not willing to allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we can't ever expect to grow to our fullest potential.
You got it, boss.
Yeah,
You got
this this really inspirational guy that I know who lives out in Illinois once told me that.
You must be a pretty cool dude.
He's all right. You know, he's got his moments.
Yeah, definitely. I'm human.
His name is Ricky, or it begins with an R. Apparently he didn't have that much of an impact on
Ricky
me.
Sturgeon?
Yeah, Red Cardo. There we go. We got Danny Garcia on the Facebook says good morning. What's up, Danny?
Good morning, Danny.
What up, Benny? Good morning. How's it going? Where's Danny from?
Yeah, where are you from? Where are you beaming in from?
Oh man. Yeah, dude. So
I finished up another design last night.
Ooh, show.
let's check it out.
It's a bit different, so just bear that in mind. It's not something like that I usually draw up. Took me the better part of the day yesterday to work on it, and I still got a little bit more refining to do on it, but I think it's at a point that shouldn't be too difficult for me to try to sell. Oh, wait, I need to do this. Hold on, I have to technology things. Cool. Okay, so we do this.
Okay, you got a bee going on there, huh? That's pretty cool
Yeah,
perspective on it.
little honeybee with like a honeycomb in the background.
Oh, what a cutie. I'd let you tattoo that on me.
Yeah, it's not going to be very big though. It's only going to be, get it, B,
Bee.
but
Full of them today, guys.
We funny.
yeah, I think it's
Mhm.
like 5
Dabs
by
up in here.
5 or something like that, or 5 by 6.
It's really hard to see with the background. I can kind of see it now that I'm getting closer to the
Let
screen, but yeah,
me tone down the background a bit.
there you go. Okay. I
Ah,
can see it.
I mean, obviously you're going to see some of the tips of the wings, where the white fill that I did behind the wings
Mhm.
isn't like totally complete, but I wasn't super worried about that.
you can tattoo that on me. I'll allow it.
Little honeybee. It's pretty neat, man. I like it. I wonder if you did tattoo it, if you would kind of finish off that background a little bit differently though.
You know, I was thinking about that. Um,
Like if you were to keep
I was
more of
kind
the,
of mentally
go ahead.
exhausted at the point in time when I was working on the background. So I was just like, you know what, I'm going to do this and call it a day, and I'll revisit it another time, and maybe I'll come up with a different idea. I was thinking
Yeah.
about doing like the hexagram perspective trick to make it
Mhm.
look like everything was kind of like zooming in, almost
Mm.
like something Russ Abbott would do. But was trying to figure out, you know, how to just like get that to look right. But
I don't, yeah,
I
you
don't
know,
know.
that'd be
I still
my
got
first
some time.
question.
It's not like I'm on a deadline for it. So
Yeah, that'd be my first question really is like, would it complicate the main subject matter? You know what I mean? Being the bee. That's what I was thinking. If you did keep the background flat like that, it would help it, I think. I mean, it still looks solid. You can see everything that's going on there. But I mean, just kind of finishing it off as far as the tattoo sake is maybe just keep those honeycomb shapes and finish them off with a clean, distinct edge. You know what I mean? You could even play with the flow of the design that way too. If you went at the opposite angle of the bee
okay,
and had more towards the top left and more towards the top right, and leave those legs hanging out behind some cleaner edged hexagrams, or the
okay.
honeycomb shape. What shape is that again? 1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
4, 5,
hexagon.
6. The hexagon, yeah. You know what I mean? Like up there towards the
Yeah,
top
no,
left
I hear you.
wing, and
I
then
hear you.
yeah. I think it'd be pretty cool. It would definitely like help settle it a little bit more, I think, because it looks killer, but I think it would help kind of like just a little more legible, a little more readable,
Yeah,
a little more
I'm
impact.
still playing around with the background, but we'll see. I'll give that a shot probably tonight or tomorrow if I've got time.
Yeah.
And just
Speaking
play
of
around
time,
with, you know,
yeah.
but yeah, it's just a little ditty I came up with yesterday.
It's fun, man. Just felt like drawing a bee.
Yeah, it was something different, you know, something that I came across this really, really, you know, kick-ass picture of a bee, and I don't know if it was supposed to be dead or what.
Mm-hmm.
With just kind of like its legs moving, almost like it was flying. But I think the bee itself was actually mounted.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, oh, that's something I've never thought of before. Let's
Yeah.
do a bee. Let's do it a little bit bigger, and we'll give its legs a little bit more motion. You know, maybe put it at an angle, like it's, you know, like swerving around and like flying side to side a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, let's do something like that. It's different. I haven't done anything like that. Why not?
You know what, dude? You know what might be pretty cool is if you were to take the background and lay it flat and then put a pin through the B like it's stuck on like corkboard or something. But the hexagrams are down here at the
that'd
bottom.
be wicked.
With just a slight kind of angle, just kick it just a little bit so you can see those little shapes and stuff. Like it's like, oh yeah, here I am, everybody. Witness me. Witness
me.
So none of your business just made a comment in YouTube. What part of Illinois? I just moved from Chicago HTS.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's not too far. You're about 2 hours north of me, 2.5 hours north of me. I'm in Bloomington Normal, Illinois. It's a twin city. So I actually live in Bloomington and I now work in Bloomington as well. I used to have a shop in Normal, but it wasn't so normal anymore. So I was done.
Where they have normal donuts, normal cops,
Normal rent,
normal people.
normal people.
What?
The town's name is Normal.
Dude, there's a city right next to Portland called Boring,
Oh, that's awesome.
and it lives up
That's
to its
awesome.
name. Boring,
Perfect.
Oregon is boring AF.
Yeah. Are you close to the last Best Buy on Earth?
Yes.
You are?
Yes. I think it's a museum now. Or like a
What?
best,
Really?
I think it's like Best Buy me. I don't remember.
Yeah. I just saw the documentary on, I can't remember what it was on, but I just watched the documentary not that long ago. Pretty fun.
Yeah. We we have a really amazing movie rental place in town called Movie Madness that
Nice.
is amazing. They have so many movies, so many. They have VHS, they have DVD, they've
Wow.
got all the stuff, and part of their back room actually is a museum setup with movie props and everything. Like it's an experience to go there and rent a movie.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Like, I've gone there before just to check out the displays and everything and browse around because like it's pretty awesome. If you ever come over to Portland, you have to say hi to me and I'll take you to Movie Madness.
Sounds good. Might take you up on that.
Yeah. Come to Portland, everybody.
Well, guys, I'm gonna have to sign off. I gotta get ready for work.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, bud.
Okay, it's been fun, guys.
Likewise. Why don't you go ahead and I'll spotlight you, Ricardo.
Okay.
And give us a quick little sign off.
Good to go?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. My name is Ricardo Sturdivant. You've joined us for another episode of Tuesday Feels. Thank you so much for joining us. Jason, thank you for jumping in on the hosting today for Lauren, who is in the travels right now. Hopefully she lands pretty well and everything goes real easy for her. Medusa, thank you so much for joining. It's always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you.
And Jason, let us know how that bee turns out. And good luck on that deity.
Thank you.
Medusa. Yeah, I look forward to seeing it. But everybody in the chats on YouTube, thank you for joining us and thank you for your comments and joining in the conversation. And we will see you next Tuesday. Until then, be safe.
Awesome.
Peace.
Thank you.
Later.
Medusa, give us a sign off real quick.
Yeah.
My name's Medusa. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure. Y'all can reach me on Instagram at Medusa Slays with 3 S's at the end or via my website, medusaslays.com. See you next Tuesday.
Awesome. And this is Jason. I was the host for today. Lauren, hope you land safe. Ricardo, thank you as always for awesome conversation. Medusa, thank you as always for jumping in, asking questions, and keeping the conversation going.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for watching. And I'm going to remove this and go back to gallery. And cheers, everyone.